Welcome to Newsday on the BBC. I'm Sharonjit Lail in Singapore.
And I'm Kasia Madera in London. The headlines this hour. Rupert Murdoch and his top executives respond to the phone hacking scandal by closing down Britain's best-selling Sunday newspaper. But the investigation continues with reports that a former editor and advisor to the British Prime Minister is to be arrested.
Dozens are killed in days of violent clashes between rival political groups in the Pakistani city of Karachi. And final flight, the US space shuttle Atlantis prepares for its last journey to the stars. It's 9 a.m. here in Singapore.
And it's 2 a.m. here in London, broadcasting to viewers on PBS in America and around the world. This is Newsday. Hello and welcome. It's the phone hacking scandal which has stunned Britain. And today came the biggest bombshell of all. Britain's best-selling Sunday newspaper, The News of the World, is being shut down by Rupert Murdoch's News International. It's been in print since 1843. The closure comes after a public outcry. But it hasn't lifted the spotlight from the Murdoch empire, which controls 40% of newspaper circulation in the UK and has worldwide reach. The BBC's business editor Robert Peston starts our coverage.
Rupert Murdoch, 1969, shortly after he bought a newspaper, The News of the World, that was to become his very profitable pride and joy.
Forgive the individual by all means, but you can't forget it.
42 years later, he might well have made the same remarks about the newsroom at the paper that became thoroughly rotten and whose actions shocked the nation. Over recent weeks, and especially in the last few days, the paper that has been printed for 168 years became indelibly linked with the worst practices in British journalism, and Mr. Murdoch's son James concluded it couldn't be mended.
Clearly, the practices of certain individuals did not live up to the standards and quality of journalism that we believe in and that I believe in, and that this company believes in. This company has been a great investor in journalism, a greater investor in media in general, and it's something that we believe very strongly in. And clearly, certain activities did not live up to those standards. And that's a matter of great regret for me personally and for the company.
What did for the News of the World were revelations about the alleged hacking of the mobile phones of the murdered schoolgirl Millie Dowler, and of a parent of one of the Soham victims, and of the families of those who died in the 7/7 atrocities, and the invasion of privacy of the families of British soldiers killed in action.
I'm not making any comments.
Here's 80-year-old Rupert Murdoch earlier today, pursued by journalists at a media conference in Sun Valley, Idaho, hours before the kind of humiliation rare for the quintessential mogul. One of his staff was less tight-lipped.
We've done a lot of good things on the News of the World, and because of what happened by some people, unscrupulous souls who worked here before, those decent people up there have been thrown out of a job today.
Rebecca Brooks, former editor of The News of the World, now chief executive of its publisher, News International. Some feel she should have gone.
Lots of people are losing their jobs today, but one of the people who's remaining in her job is the chief executive of News International, who was the editor at the time that the hacking of Millie Dowler's phone happened. So it's a big act, but I don't think it solves the real issues at News International.
I am satisfied that Rebecca, her leadership of this business, and her standard of ethics and her standard of conduct throughout her career are very good.
With big consumer company after big consumer company pulling their advertising from the News of the World for fear of being tainted by association with the paper, its commercial future was looking bleak. With its demise, will the parent company's reputation be rehabilitated?
He won't draw a line under it. It's going to be investigated, and there must be a full judicial-led, judge-led public inquiry.
Here's the other newspaper jewel acquired by Rupert Murdoch in 1969, The Sun. From the ashes of the News of the World, could the Sun on Sunday be born? A Sunday without a Murdoch tabloid? Unthinkable, surely. Robert Peston, BBC News.